What's up, future millionaires? I recently posted an Ask Me Anything on my YouTube and my Instagram. So if you want to get in on these questions next time, make sure to follow me on Instagram at Billy Willson. Let's jump right into the questions. Belly Bird asked, do you think the gym niche is still worth doing? Any suggestions? Dentists don't seem to work. And so this is a really common mistake that I see beginners make, so I wanted to address this question. By saying dentists don't seem to work, that is completely untrue. Any niche pretty much can work. It just comes down to getting the right strategy for that niche. And that's the number one thing you need to realize, that the problem isn't the niche, the problem is your method. So yes, you can switch niches if you want, but the thing you need to realize is the problem was not the niche itself, the problem was the methods that you are using to either outreach or provide them with results. So realize that and realize that you need to improve that. You can still switch niches if you want, or you can try to stay in the same one and try to fix what issue you're having. But yes, both of these industries, the gym and the dentist industry, are good. Pretty much any niche is good. You just have to realize that there's different strategies for getting in with each one. So you need to do kind of a process to figure that out and try certain things and try doing things. It's almost like split testing different things and seeing what works best. That's how business goes. So you make mistakes and you learn from them. All right, Bad Kid 84 asked, Apex or Fortnite and why? LOL. All right, so with this one, I'd have to go with Fortnite, but I've recently been playing Call of Duty Warzone, which has been super fun. It's way better than I really expected, and I've been playing that. I actually haven't played Fortnite in a little while, and the reason I picked Fortnite over Apex is I really like the building mechanic, and I think it really makes it unique compared to other games. But right now, I am mainly playing Modern Warfare Warzone. Jack with the great question, where do you want to be in 5 years? What are you building towards? So where do I want to be in 5 years? One, as far as income, I want to be making probably about $200,000 to $300,000 per month profit. I want to have my agency and my education business, and the split of that doesn't really matter to me. I just want to have that monthly sustainable income and kind of have my agency and my online education business running on their own, because at that point I probably want to have a child and be able to mainly focus on that. My goal is to work 4 hours a day from 7 a.m. to about 11 a.m. and then take the rest of the day off so that I can spend it with my family and raising my child and spending a lot of time with my wife. So that's pretty much my goal, is to work 5 days a week, 4 hours a day, and then mainly on agency and education business. And if you're wondering why I want to make such a high income, a lot of that has to do with the fact that I do want a pretty nice house, and I do want to have that Tesla Roadster I was talking about, and some couple things like that. And I also want to be able to provide a private education for my kids. I would prefer not to send them to like normal school, because I don't believe in the current education system that we have. Hopefully that can improve. But for right now, I plan on being able to have that extra money to be able to support my family in the future, make a lot of investments, and just build a lot of wealth over time. And I definitely think it's possible, and I think it's a great goal to work towards, so that's why it's my goal. Question from Waleed, best method to find and sign your first social media marketing client. And we also got a question that's similar from Skydown, how to approach clients in 2020. So I'm gonna start with the best method to sign your first social media marketing client. So the best way to do this is just starting with your personal network. That's what I did. I found somebody in my personal network. They told me that this person was interested in hiring a social media marketer, so I reached out to the client. That's how I got my first client. So your first client, the easiest way to do it is find and reach out to tell your family members what you're doing, ask them if they know anybody that might need help with this, and do that as much as possible at the beginning. That's the best way to get started, the easiest way, because then you can gain trust really, really easily. If you don't have that, then I would maybe suggest doing a free trial for 1 to 3 businesses and asking for a case study, building your results and building your confidence, and just getting good at what skills you're providing. And with Skydown's question, how to approach clients in 2020, the main difference compared to before is you just need to be less salesy. You just need to be focused on actually helping the business themselves and focus on their actual results and just overall helping, and try to avoid being as salesy as possible and just focus on helping the businesses and making sure that, like, when you're outreaching to them, whether you send an email or you're talking to them over the phone, is just separating yourself and making yourself unique in the fact that you actually care about their business and you're not just trying to sell them something. And just make that clear in your script writing and whatever you're doing to outreach to clients. All right, so Eric wanted to know my personal favorite form of outreach and why. And this can vary from person to person. Pretty much any form of outreach works, guys. So don't think that my way is the best way. But for me personally, I really, really like email. The reason I like it is because 1, everyone uses email. 2, it's usually really easy to find emails. And 3, I'm really good at writing. I'm really good at copywriting. So I can take the time. I wouldn't say I'm as good as like speaking on the phone and speaking on the fly, but I'm really good at sitting down and writing a really, really good message that's really convincing. That's why I really like email, and this really just depends on as a personal preference to you. And the other thing is too, is I know as long as I get the right email and I make a good headline and my start of my email is really good, that they're going to open it and they're going to read it. They're going to book an appointment with me as long as my actual email was really good and really enticing. Of course, the biggest thing with email is you just need to make sure your messaging is really, really, really good. All right, so BBB Powerful said, love the Q&A idea. Is it better to try and generate leads for SMMA through paid ads in an automated system, aka practice what you preach, or through cold outreach, cold call, LinkedIn, etc.? And I'm going to ask this other question as well that was pretty similar. How would you go about creating a system to generate inbound leads? And this is a very common question I get asked, and my answer to this is the thing that you guys need to realize when you do this kind of system. Yes, this kind of system works, and it's a great way to generate inbound leads. But this is like the difference between playing t-ball and playing in the major leagues. It's just a completely different level. See, when you're running ads for local businesses, you are going against, your competition is other local businesses. When you're running ads for a social media marketing agency, you are going up against the best of the best people in the world. So it's a whole another level of competition. And on top of that, when you're marketing for your clients, there's a lot wider pool of people to work with, typically, compared to with a social media marketing agency. You're only targeting, let's say, a very small percentage of the population. Like, let's say you're working with chiropractors. That's a very small number of people that own chiropractic businesses in the United States. Well, not a small number, probably a few, probably like maybe like 30 to 50,000 people. But in comparison to that, there's like 300 million people in the United States. It's a pretty big difference. So that's the really big thing that you need to remember. So if you're going to run ads for yourself to get inbound leads and you're doing stuff like that, you need to be really good at what you're doing. And this is something you'd probably typically start once you've already gotten to 6 figures, because you also need money to invest into the ads. You need at least like $2,000 that you can just completely waste on ads and just to test things out and see if they work. And you also want to have case studies, because you need to have case studies to be able to show in your ads and show the results. And that way you've got proven results when you meet with the clients and things like that. So yes, generating inbound leads is great. I would recommend doing like sort of a case study. And the other thing you need to do is have a unique selling position or a unique selling point that makes you separate from every other marketing agency. So you need to be extremely unique in what you're offering. So kind of offer something new that they've never heard of before. And that's what will get them interested in you compared to anyone else. And then you also need to be extremely unique and actually have the results to back it up. And all of those things combined, and on top of that, you even need to be really, really good at marketing and copywriting and convincing clients to work with you. And you also need to have the money to invest in the ads. And these are all things people don't realize at the beginning, is that all of those things. So I wouldn't recommend doing this until you're at least 6 figures. And then once you are at 6 figures, yeah, go ahead and try it out if you'd like, and you feel like you're getting really good at it. But the key with growing your agency is just finding any consistent way of generating meetings. All right, so Nicola asked, why are people so angry when we play Call of Duty? If you don't know who Nicola is, he's basically the general manager of my business, and we play Call of Duty together every couple days. Let me just put a few clips on here for you guys. So why do these people get so mad? Maybe it's because they don't know what you guys know, and they're stuck working their 9-to-5 job or going to college, making $8 an hour. I don't know, you guys tell me. So Michael asked, can you go over car dealership ads? I know you already have a video, but can you do an updated one, please and thank you. Also, you make great videos and I'd love to watch your progress. Thank you, Michael, and yes, I'm gonna be making a car dealership video and posting it very shortly. I hope you enjoy it. So Jared's the MVP asked, how do I avoid meeting people in person when they ask? I'd rather do a remote demo, but most of them want to meet in person first to gain trust. Now, if you answer this the right way, this can actually benefit you because it will position you at a higher level. And so what I would do if I was asked this question, I have been asked this question before, is I would say, I'm totally happy to meet you in the future. Just to be completely upfront with you, I do have a really busy schedule at the moment, so I can't currently meet with every new potential client. So I'd like to have an application call over the phone to save your time and mine to make sure we're a good fit to work together before we actually meet in person. Is that okay with you? So yes, you can eventually drive to them in the future, but in the end, you don't really need to meet in person. And in the phone, you can maybe talk with them and that it's not really, and figure out when you actually talk to them, it's not really necessary to meet in person at all afterwards. So I would just make it clear like that, and you actually put it into your advantage. You're just basically saying that you're too busy to meet in person, and that will make them see you at an even higher level than before. So we got quite a few questions on this one. Katavia asked how to reduce CPL or cost per click and how to deal with low client budget. We also got questions on how to decrease cost per lead and how to create good, compelling ads. So to answer these questions on how to create good ads, honestly, the first thing you need to do is just learn from somebody that's an expert. And I would highly recommend either working with somebody directly as a mentor or buying a high-level course on Facebook advertising. That's the number one way you can become the best. You become the best by learning from other people that are the best and taking as much knowledge from them as you can. Now, after that, it takes practice, so that's another thing. And then the third thing is just realizing and putting yourself in the mindset of the ideal customer, the person that's reading this ad. So the golden rule of marketing is basically put yourself in the other person's shoes that you're writing the ad for. So the better you can be at putting yourself in the other person's shoes and pretending what it would be like to read your ad and see your ad from their perspective and go through the process, the better you are at doing that, the better you will be able to write ads. So once again, learn from somebody that's an expert first. That's the number one way, and get their highest level of knowledge that you possibly can. Second is practice. And then third is putting yourself in the customer's shoes. That's how you get your cost per lead lower. It's not by doing Facebook ad hacks and trying to be more technical. Yes, those things can lower your cost per lead, but the number one way to lower your cost per lead is just getting better at writing better ad copy, making better creatives, and making a better funnel and all of that stuff. Now, there is technical stuff with the Facebook ads too, but if you set up your ads the right way, you shouldn't have problems with that. So just make sure that you set up your ads the right way and learn from somebody that's an expert and actually has proven results of spending really high dollars per day in ad spend with Facebook ads. And once you work with somebody like that and you learn from somebody like that, like myself, that way you can get your clients the best results and get the lowest cost per lead possible. Shameless plug, I really do believe my Facebook advertising course is the best on the market at the moment. So if you really want to take your ads to the next level, and I recently redid every single Facebook ads video, so it's super updated and very new. So if you're highly interested in getting extremely good at Facebook ads and getting your clients best of industry results, definitely check that out. I'll put a link in the description below. Hoytran said, first off, just want to say your videos are awesome, so genuine, so much value and no fluff, which we really appreciate. Keep up the hustle. Do you recommend outsourcing to white label Facebook ad agencies in order to free up time and just go and connect with clients? Also, any tips on how to structure cold emails or LinkedIn messages, as well as tips on negotiating deals and closing clients? So I'm going to start with the first question. Do you recommend outsourcing to Facebook white label? I do not recommend that. I don't like that for a few reasons. One, you don't control the results, and you can't get your clients better results than other agencies. The second reason is it's harder to sell your business in the future because you don't really have employees that's trained on how to do your clients' results. So those are the two reasons I don't like that. So what you can do instead is hire someone on your team in your agency. That's what I would recommend instead of doing an outsourced white label. Any tips on how to structure cold emails or LinkedIn messages? Main thing is just being unique, coming across different from everybody else, and actually helping the client. I talked about this stuff earlier. Those are the three things that you need to focus on when you're writing these emails, and just focus on, once again, putting yourself in the shoes of the client. What's it like when they get 10 messages per day from marketing agencies? What's going to make you stand out? And then finally, tips on negotiating, closing deals. With that, it just comes with easiest way to close deals is just by showing results. It's like, if you have results, it's brain dead simple, but if you don't have results yet, get some results. And if you need to close the deals, main thing is just confidence. That's the number one thing that helps you close deals more than anything. And final question, David Lee asked, step one advice for someone who has no social media experience. I'm 51 and didn't take it seriously until 4 to 5 weeks ago. So the key is just take the time to learn. Realize that people go to college for 4 years just to learn how to get a job that pays them like an average income. You can take a few months to learn how to do social media marketing the right way and provide your clients with more value than anyone else. So first off is getting that knowledge down. Second is implementing it and practicing and learning from your mistakes. And then the third step is once you've done that mistakes and practice process for like a year, 2, that's when you really start to become an expert and get really, really good at this. So just be patient and work on it every day. That's the number one thing and number one way to gain experience. And just take your time. Of course, you want to work as fast as you possibly can, but at the same time, don't expect this to be like overnight success. It's gonna take you time to build this new skill. If you enjoyed this kind of video, make sure to let me know down in the comments because I can make other ones in the future. And make sure you follow me on Instagram at Billy Willson. Willson, my last name, is spelled with 2 L's because that will give you the highest chances of me answering your question. So next time I have a Q&A, I will make a post on my Instagram story and you guys will be able to post your questions in there. So make sure you follow me there if you want to get your question answered in the next Q&A. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I want to remind you guys that over 50% of you that watch my videos are not subscribed. So make sure you're subscribed if you're not already so you can check out every single video from now on. Thank you guys for watching and look forward to seeing you in the next one.